And welcome back, everybody, to your weekly waiver wire show. Week 21 for most of you out there. 22 depends on where you look at in your league setup. It's kind of hit and miss here. But you know what? They're letting us hang out with you all again. Hope you guys enjoyed the trade show on Monday. Enjoyed leading off this week. It's myself, Casey, Bubba, and Kelly Kirby joining me over there on the screen. How are we doing? We ready for a little waiver wire action?
I am totally ready for waiver wire. It made more sense than the trade, so I'm good to go.
Yep, and I'm looking forward to this because we talked on the trade show a little bit of, you got to get cut, you got to get aggressive, and this is where the waiver wire, you're looking week-to-week schedule stuff here. This is where it gets very, very important, and, 10 teams, 12 teams, whatever, but we try to focus. If you go to FantasyPros.com, you look at the average roster rates between the different websites. We try to go 30% or lower to give you guys an option that should be available in most of your leagues. So, Kelly, I will kick it to you. Who is your hitter for the week?
So it brings me no joy to bring this guy in because I feel like he's a guy that is always on the waivers. And then you have to pick him up in situations like this. So my hitter is Josh Bell. He's first baseman for the Twins. I think he's like somewhere between 15 and 17% rostered. Then, I admit openly, he is a streaky player without question. But right now, he is on the hottest of hot streaks. In 32 at bats in August, he has 3 home runs, 7 runs scored, and 8 RBIs. Well, he's only struck out twice. He's having his normal season overall, so he's batting like 252 and with a 741 OPS, which is obviously nothing to write home about. But if you're looking for a bit of power at a corner infield position, like if you just lost Kurtz and you decide it's time to stream first baseman, Bell is a perfect place to start and ride this out while he is good. The Twins as a team are scoring more runs. Their young players are getting more acclimated to everything. And he's just batting third in that lineup. So he hits a little bit better on the road. So if you're actually streaming, aim for road trips. But he's also only on a 1-year deal and they have a mutual option in 2027. So he does have incentive to perform well down the stretch. So I think that you pick him up and ride it out as long as he'll give it to you.
Yeah, I love the Josh Bell because you hit on so many factors there. That he's always on the waiver wire, it feels like, because yes, you ride the highs, you ride the lows, but he's a switch hitter. He plays every day. He DHs for them. So that's a plus. You look for playing time, especially late in the year here. You want to see your guys are out there every single day. And then he's got some good matchups coming up as well. He finishes the week versus Philadelphia, and he's got Atlanta and San Diego next week. And some of those San Diego pitchers, Bueller's pitch better, but Randy Vasquez, it's nothing I'm too concerned about. So, yeah, you ride the streak while you can. Twins offense, it was one of the hottest in baseball. It's cooled down, but very nice spot there for Josh Bell. So I'm not opposed to that. It's the everyday playing time that really kicks it off for me. I'm going back to my guy. I've been Team Zack Gelof for far too long, and it burned me last year, but boy, oh boy, is it paying off this year. And I joked about it over the weekend that my biggest waiver wire acquisition this week was Zack Gelof coming off the IL. And Zack Gelof in the first 2 games back has had 3 hits and a home run, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. He's hitting the ball so well for the Sacramento A's playing in that ballpark. And on the season, we're looking at Zack Gelof, 277 average, which is way better than most thought. More importantly, Kelly, a 25.5% strikeout rate. This is the guy that struck out way too much in the past. People were always like, he's never going to make it. He struck out 45.5% of the time in 101 plate appearances last year, 34.5 in 545 plate appearances the year before. To narrow it down to 25.5, the best in his major league career, is outstanding. And he goes with 12 homers, 8 stolen bases, the guy that we used to think might have 2020 appeal. You got 6 weeks. Half the games will be in that wonderful Sacramento ballpark. And I'm going to ride Zack Gelof till the wheels fall off. And more importantly, for your fantasy needs, second base, third base, outfield. So that's middle infield, CI also. Depends on your league formats. He can play all over the place for you. You just can't catch and he can't pitch. But you can pretty much fill your rosters. Love me some Zack Gelof the rest of the way.
And as we've talked about, when we're done doing this, we're just going to start the Zack Gelof fan club because I'm right there with you. I did the same thing last year where I was like, and I'm a year early, but now he's back, and I love having him on my team.
Yep, it's absolutely beautiful. And what else is beautiful is the waiver assistant over at Fantasy Pros. If you're looking for some high priority pickups, instantly identify the best pickups available in your league with the Fantasy Pros waiver wire assistant. See exactly how each add drop scenario impacts your everyday scoring category. That's pretty crazy. Like you can legit go, I'm going to add Josh Bell. Put 4 options out there. Not at the same time, of course. That'd be crazy. But separate them, and you can see which one helps or hurts your team more. That is outstanding stuff there. And you can sync your leagues in seconds at fantasypros.com/MLB, my playbook, or on the Fantasy Pros app for personalized expert advice. And that is the waiver wire assistant, everybody. Really, really cool stuff they're throwing your way over there at Fantasy. They just keep coming up with all kinds of stuff between them, betting pros, you name it. It's wild over there in the Fantasy Pro streets. What else is wild? Let's talk some pitching where it's just always volatile, Kelly. So who are you looking to add this week on the waiver wire?
So I'm a Cubs fan by nature, and I'm looking at like the way I set this up yesterday when I was writing it was I was just like the American League standings make me feel like we're living in the upside down, but the National League is like way more straightforward. The Cubs are 69-50. They somehow are only 5 games back of the Brewers, which is a little nuts. But they're comfortably in first place for the wild card, and all year long they have just enlisted a revolving door of closers, which in my entire lifetime, they've basically only had a revolving door of closers. But the guy I'm looking at is Jacob Webb. So he's a relief pitcher. He's about 18% rostered. He has picked up 2 saves in the last week, even after the arrival of Ryan. Is it Zephyr-John?
Zephyr-John.
Yeah. Webb he's been just great for the Cubs. He leads the bullpen with a 15.9% swinging strike rate, a 27.1% K rate, and he's only walking at a 7.9% rate. So, like, literally, those are the best numbers in the bullpen. Daniel Palencia, he began his rehab assignment last week, but I'm genuinely not convinced that Craig Counsell is going to immediately put him back in the closing role, given like the disjointed nature of his season. And I feel like if Counsell kind of gets on that groove where if there's a guy that's working, he'll kind of keep going back to him. In a save hold league, Webb is an automatic add. That shouldn't even be a question. But I'm okay speculating that the 4th best team in the NL will use him to shut the door on opponents. And given that he literally currently leads the team this year in saves with 7.
I absolutely love that you put Webb on here because you hit so many things I've been trying to pound on my Bubba and the Bloom show, my Bench with Bubba shows, in my articles. I've been trying to pound. Everyone's like, oh, Daniel Palencia. I get it. The dude was awesome before, great in the WBC. Didn't do much this year because he didn't have the chance. Fine. Not his fault. But to your point, like he started his rehab and the first 2 outings haven't been overwhelming. First one, he really struggled. Second one was better, but it's like, do you slow play him? Do I have to bring up Edwin Diaz to anybody? Like, this has been a rough start there. And then you hit on a really big factor to me. Craig Counsell is this creature of habit. He's kind of old school. I wouldn't be shocked either because was it last year or the year before? You as a Cub fan can correct me here. Palencia came back from the IL, and he did not retake over the closing role. Mm-hmm. He pitched in the 8th. And what would shock us from seeing that again? It shouldn't. Mm-hmm. So you nailed so many points I've been trying to bang home. So I'm glad you did because the roster rate we're seeing like right now he is I believe it's like 16%, and that's way too low if you need safe. So I love that call.
Cool.
I'm going to Sean Manaea, who we talked about extensively on Monday's leading off show, and I will say I was shocked to see he's only 19% rostered. Maybe it's people started him and dropped him. Maybe that's what took place. But to see a 19% rostered Sean Manaea after we like waxed poetically about, it's 2 earned runs or less in his last 4 starts, all quality starts, 6 innings or more. He's thrown 18 strikeouts in his last 2 starts, 11 Ks, no walks in his last start. We talked about the increased velocity. He's averaging 92 miles an hour over the last 30 days. That's up almost 2 miles an hour on his fastball. Like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're throwing soft toss, that's a jump, especially when you're pitch mixing, you're throwing more and more off-speed pitches. That 92 jump helps a ton. I'm loving what we get from Sean Manaea. This is a workhorse in this Mets rotation right now that needs him. This week, he hits the Nationals. That can be a little wonky, but if you're just looking ahead here at the White Sox, lefties, you can kind of navigate that minefield. Milwaukee, they've slowed down a bit. We'll see. At Tampa, it's not like they're easy matchups, but at the same time, he's proven he's almost locked into those rotations. So I think if you're looking for a pitcher to string down the stretch here, especially if he shows this continued strikeout upside, Sean Manaea is on my radar for sure.
Yeah, and I told you, I don't love him immensely, but also, the stuff he's been doing, there's just no reason that he should be rostered that low. And any the Kyle Harrison managers, the maybe even Paul Skeens managers, you should look at this point. If you're headed toward the playoffs, not dropping them, but just in general, he could be an insurance policy if he keeps this up.
Yeah, and recently on one of my shows, we broke down like upcoming matchups. And it's the point of the year. Like if you're not going to, like Jared Jones was our example, like he's struggled, he has to be efficient, and his next 3 out of 4 starts are tough matchups. You have to get to that point where you kind of block, like just cover up the name and realize if I'm not using him, I should probably drop him for a Manaea or somebody in that vein is what I'm saying. So yeah, open your mind, open your ears, open it all to figuring it all out. And also open those eyes and ears and join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Fantasy Pros on Twitch for the leading off show. Kelly has been so kind to join me the last years. I've actually been so fortunate to join Kelly the Monday and Wednesday this week. But we got a mix of characters in there. Bogman's joining the crew, Welsh, Arico. Knowing the way these guys take vacation, Kelly will be doing it again sooner than later. So everybody go check that out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, leading off over there on the Fantasy Pros Twitch for now. Eventually it'll head to YouTube, but don't worry about it. Follow Fantasy Pros on Twitch at twitch.tv/Fantasy Pros or on the Twitch app, and never miss a stream. Kelly, we did it. Another one in the books. Appreciate you joining me. Waiver wire. I'll let you have the floor. Any final thoughts as we're in crunch time? It's like 6 weeks to go.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's gotten there. So again, like we said at the trade show, but I'm also we're still ruthlessly cutting. If there's something, just at this point, don't be afraid to stream literally any position. If there are people out there and somebody stops working for you, just go to the next one. So that's my waiver. That's my waiver advice.
Totally agree with you there. Good luck, everybody. Hopefully this helped. Again, leading off coming at you Friday. We'll be back with more waiver wire news next week. But until next time, good luck. See y'all later.